Hello everybody, my name is Lunar and welcome back to another Building with Lunar episode. Today I am going to be teaching you all how to build custom trees. Because you may have been walking through your Minecraft world and you may have realized or noticed, this place is a little open, a little bit too unlifelike. So this is the problem that I had in my last episode of the Minecraft Hardcore series, and I decided to add in a ton of trees, which helped bring it in a lot more, bringing in a lot of life into the harbor, and it really did improve the area. So in today's episode, I am going to be teaching you how to be able to make your own custom trees to be able to make your Minecraft worlds much nicer and give it a little bit of flavor and a little bit of life. So, let's begin with the pine trees. First off here, we are going to be talking about the smaller kinds of trees. And I'll be honest, this kind of little baby tree can be used for any spruce, dark oak, but make sure that you have a different variety of leaves, not like spruce and then acacia and azalea or whatever. Just keep it as in one leaf, but one leaf per different kind of tree. So for dark oak, I use dark oak. For oak, I would use dark oak. Birch, I would use birch. Spruce, I would use spruce. So basically, the basic structure or the beginning of the trunk of the tree, when it comes to these smaller ones, will just be some dark oak fences going all the way up. It can be as tall as you want, and a few dark oak fences. They can be 2 blocks long, and if you want, you can also add them for a little bit more depth and length going out, just like this. You can also do that if you may want. Once you are done adding in the limbs, you then want to add in the leaves for the tree. So when it also comes into adding in the leaves, what I usually typically do is I kind of just add in the leaves kind of sporadically. Another good tip to make it a little bit more lifelike and a little bit more natural is leaving visibility to the inside of the tree and the trunk and the limbs. You still want to be able to see that just a little bit, and you don't want to go too overboard. But I place my leaves a little bit more sporadically, and I go for a little bit more realistic, but you can do whatever you want with your tree. Especially adding in this little bit up at the top here, it makes it just a little bit taller, a little bit nicer, and kind of shows off that this is actually taller. It just is completely covered up by the leaves. Next up we have is the large pine tree. This is my, honestly, this is probably my favorite of all of my custom trees I'm able to build. But you start off with a strong base of the trunk, and you kind of just pillar up with single blocks. I usually prefer this kind of spruce wood. It's covered on all sides so that you don't get the little like log or chopped log texture, and honestly, in my opinion, this makes it look a lot nicer. Then we basically do what we did with that, and we just do a little much thinner part of the tree using dark oak fences. When it comes to trees, something I've also learned is when you are making a tree, you want to go for something or another block like dark oak and spruce, because they actually go really well together. They honestly have a very similar color, or the trunk does anyway. Going into the dark oak, it is basically the exact same color. Next part, when you are making the limbs for your large pine trees, is that you need to kind of go a little realistic. Do not go too overboard, but you're also doing this in any way that you want. Do something very similar to this. I wouldn't do it exactly, but if you want to, you feel free 100%. And you can do this. They can be as long as you want, a little bit more extra limbs, bonus limbs on the side, and This is how I have done it, like I did in my hardcore episode 2. Next up is placing the leaves. So just like with this one, I placed them a little bit more sporadically. Still, you were able to see the limbs of the tree, and it helps it give a little bit more natural, realistic vibe. And a huge key when it comes to natural kinds of builds, it goes for rocks, trees, whatever, bushes, it does not need to be equal or odd numbers. It can be whatever you want. It does not need to be specific or perfect or whatever, right? You want to just feel natural because this is a tree. It's going out in all different directions. You want it to have a lot of life to it. Next up are my custom oak trees. um, Another thing right here, still using in the oak and the spruce right here because they are very, very similar colors and they match really, really well with each other. And basically just continuing on what I have just taught you with the limbs, but for oak trees, I keep it just a little bit smaller. I do not go all out like I do with the large spruce pine trees, but I will still maybe me just you can do those if you want. But a lot of oak trees do kind of like branch out. You can make these in any large size or any kind of just any size that you may want, depending on your skill level. Trees can be absolutely massive, like you see from Gemini Tay or Grian or any other large popular content creator who is popular and good with Minecraft building. Again, with the leaves, I just add in the more sporadic. With oak, I use dark oak leaves because, in my opinion, it works much better than it would with just plain old oak leaves. So I mean, it can still work. It's just that, honestly, oak is a little bit darker than a dark oak, which seems very weird. But you'd say, oh, this is the dark oak. No, this is the dark oak. So I prefer to use a dark oak because it's just a little bit brighter. Going on to birch. Birch is a more different, definitely branches out a lot more. And as you can see here, I did the limbs a little bit much similar to the oak trees in the center. I added in a little bit more of a pillar, and then the birch, birch fences that I brought in because honestly, there is no other white wood. I mean, I guess you could use quartz, but I prefer to just keep it with regular birch wood or just wood in general. And that brings us to this, a little bit more still sporadic, and basically the same concept as I've just taught you with the previous trees. This can go for any tree, basically for acacia. Still, you always want to get reference images from online, Google, Pinterest, whatever you want, that can also show you different kinds of trees, what you are inspired by. That is the kind of thing that you want to do. Do not just copy me. Please, 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 please do look up inspiration and other trees from around the world. But that is all that I am here to teach you for today. I do hope that you enjoy these kinds of trees, and I hope that you learned something in today's episode. And if you would be so kind, only if you want to, please hit that big red subscribe button down below and hit that like button and share it with your friends if they have been looking for a nice video to help them teach them how to build some custom trees to spruce up your Minecraft worlds. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed. My name is Lunar, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!